Last week, a gunman attempted to drive into a Texas Naval Air Base, but was stopped by a sailor who was wounded at the scene. The FBI is now investigating this as an act of terrorism and has also released details about last year's Pensacola Air Base shooting. It's all been linked to terrorism. I've got legal analyst Molly Barrows with me to talk about it. This story is troubling on so many levels.
Right.
Lay it out for us, okay?
All right, so this is the latest shooting, happened last week in Texas, Corpus Christi, NAS, Naval Air Station Corpus Christi, and a man from Corpus Christi, his name is Adam Al-Sahi, and he basically tried to run through the gate. He had a car, he drove through, he shot a security guard that was there, a woman, and she managed to roll over and hit a switch that basically brought the barrier down. So it kept him from getting onto the base and perhaps causing more damage. And then he, in turn, was shot and killed by security. So the FBI isn't giving a lot of details about it, Pat, but they are saying they're investigating it as terrorism-related, similar to what we saw at NAS Pensacola.
Molly, the NAS Pensacola story hits right at home because we have friends that work there. They train, they're pilots who train. Question one, isn't it absurd that we're training pilots for the royal family of Saudi Arabia to begin with?
Okay. Because that was the shooter, and that was the shooter. A member of the Royal Saudi Air Force.
Exactly. Came up through the ranks, but we're doing it because McDonnell Douglas wants us to, because Boeing wants us to, because they're selling them this equipment, and then we have to train the pilots. In NAS, injured 8 people, killed 3 people.
Yes.
And just close to home, I've got a relative who actually trains pilots out there, so very close to home.
Direct terrorism related as well.
Direct to terrorism. You know, here's the other part of the story. I don't know if we haven't talked about this.
Yes.
Tim Cook. Okay,
Apple CEO.
Okay, they finally got the phone from the terrorists that killed these people in Pensacola.
Yes.
Tim Cook comes out and says, "We can't help you, CIA or FBI, unravel what's in that phone," as if they were taking some high ground. He's a fraud. Apple's a fraud. Tim Cook is a fraud. They had more information in that phone that's already saving lives, no doubt.
Right.
But Tim Cook, head of Apple, says, "Oh, we can't help you, FBI, find out what's in that terrorist phone who's killed 3 people and injured 8 people right here in Pensacola."
Yes.
Now, the rest of the story is what? What do we see Apple do all the time?
Basically, they allow people access when they want to give them access.
Yes.
So they have this,
music,
absolutely,
movies?
whatever they need to do. But in this particular situation, it's also bringing up the fact that our own government immigration vetting failed because Al Shamrani, the shooter at NAS Pensacola, he came over. The evidence that they gathered from the phones that they had to hack themselves because Apple wouldn't go and hack it for them. That basically they found that he had been radicalized as far back as 2015. So he was allowed to come in already having been radicalized. So in one respect, our own government vetting, immigration vetting needs to do a better job as well. But when it comes to gathering this evidence, this has been an ongoing battle with Apple for years. It comes up all the way back to 2016.
Here's what's 2015.
Yeah, 2015.
Same thing happened in Texas.
Yeah.
Killings in Texas. They go to Apple. They say, "We think this phone can help us figure out who other terrorists are." Tim Cook, under the leadership of this idiot, says, "No, we can't do that." But at the same time, Tim Cook puts all of our information out there.
Yes.
If an advertiser wants to know what movies we buy, if the advertiser wants to know what music we listen to, what apps we use, Tim Cook makes it. He'll sell it and make it available. But he has the audacity. He's a damn fraud, and this is a disgusting story, especially when it hits so close to home and you realize those people that gave, you had an officer lost his life in the line of duty here.
Yes.
Everybody involved in that story was doing the right thing. And all we want to know is what's on the phone. Tim Cook says, "No, we can't let you know." That's Apple.
Right. And there was a case in 2016 in San Bernardino, which was another terrorism-related case. It was actually going to court before the FBI or the Department of Justice managed to get access to this particular terrorist's phone. And so, again, that case was dropped, but they were almost to the point where that I guess they were going to allow the court to decide the issue of how much access the government had to phones. But you're exactly right. And so Tim would say that he's the victim in that regard.
It's so fraudulent. It is just absolutely so fraudulent. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks, Pat.